The China of 1970 is not the China of today. China is an increasingly disruptive global power. It seeks to shape the global environment into one that is more permissive for interests and values that increasingly depart from ours.
Is Canada about to get a tough new foreign policy when it comes to China? I highly doubt it. Hi, I'm Brian Lilley, political columnist with the Toronto Sun. That clip you heard off the top, Canada's Foreign Affairs Minister Mélanie Joly speaking at the Monk School of Public Affairs here in Toronto. She was giving hints of what might come soon when it comes to Canada's foreign policy in the Indo-Pacific area. That, of course, includes China. But while she's talking tough on China, or making people think she'll talk tough on China, Canada's record under the Trudeau government is anything but tough. No, I'm not talking about his much reported on, much talked about the admiration of China's basic dictatorship. It's just that Trudeau hasn't been tough on China ever. And it's not likely that he's going to start now. Even this week, we learned from a report by Global News that Trudeau's been sitting on CSIS intelligence since January that showed there was interference in our 2019 election. 11 different candidates receiving funds or support from the Communist Party of China to try and influence the election. Trudeau was asked about this. He didn't deny the report, just kind of shrugged it off, though, saying, we're doing everything we can.
Unfortunately, we're seeing that countries, state actors from around the world, whether it's China or others, are continuing to play aggressive games with our institutions, with our democracies, and that's why we are creating new tools to be able to support them. We are constantly working with our intelligence committees and officials, and we've created, as you know, specific intelligence and national security committee of parliamentarians that are engaged in these issues and others to ensure that we are able to deal with more threats in the future.
So 11 candidates receiving funds, up to $250,000 dispersed from China's consulate here in Toronto in the 2019 election. We know there was Chinese interference in the 2021 election. In both instances, it helped the Liberal Party for the most part. According to the reports, both Liberals and Conservatives received various supports in 2019, but we know that China targeted Conservative candidates in 2021 because they had taken a stand against China. Do you really think that Trudeau's going to turn around and risk his own political fortunes doing that? He should. China is not a friendly country. They are a bad state actor, as the diplomats like to say. They interfere in elections. They undermine institutions. It's been going on for years. Our intelligence services have been warning about it, and politicians have been whistling past the graveyard, hoping to ignore it, all in the name of keeping trade going with China, buying cheap stuff to fill our store shelves. It has to stop, and we have to find a new way. I hope that when Trudeau's government releases their new foreign policy in a couple of weeks' time, it does take a different note on China. And I hope that it's backed up with action. I'm just not going to be holding my breath to see that outcome. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment down below, share this on social media, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.